Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome your faces to another video here on the channel. This is going to be the condensed version of our live stream that we did this evening, and this is obviously you will be seeing this now on Thursday. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, Judge Nicol denied the first level appeal against Johnny Depp and his team, which again, it was sad to see straight away, but again, no, when you find out what and why this has happened, it kind of makes sense. And then we have another issue regarding Animaniacs, which obviously over the weekend we saw that they took a little, they tried to make a joke out of a Johnny Papa thing, a rhyme from a couple of years ago, which shows that the show has aged very badly already. But obviously the timing and everything else is bad. And to be honest with you, they should have scrubbed his name from it. And that's the issue that I had with a lot of people, because a lot of people are like, oh, it was done in 2018. You can't do it. You can't do this. You can't do that. Actually, guys, you can. And I'm going to show you how and why it's being done to something else. So, we're going to start off with Twitter. So let's spin this around. So this is the first thing to say. The name's Q. QWERTY on Twitter posted this. The appeal was denied. To clarify, it was denied by Judge Nicol himself. So that tells you everything you need to know. And here's an archive link. And this is what we got. So the Times are the first ones to actually write about it, because they're linked with the Sun and with Judge Nicol's son and everything else. And Johnny Depp cannot appeal the Sun libel case and must pay £628,000 costs. Judge rules. So, Johnny Depp has been refused permission to appeal against the findings of a judge who ruled that he was this. The actor has also been ordered to pay an initial £628,000 in legal costs to the Sun for his failed libel action against the newspaper. He sued NGN over an article which questioned why J.K. Rowling was allowing him to appear in the FB franchise after he was accused of all of this. On November 7th, after a 3-week trial, which again, they're saying 3-week trial, the 3-week trial was actually in July, so the guy took like 3 months to make a decision, even though we've seen a few other things which point that the 27th of July, the day before the actual verdict was given, that it was made. And the guy just wanted some time off. But this one took a matter of days. Obviously, November 2nd, he ruled that Depp had done all of this. Star of Aquaman film. She's not the star, she's just a co-star. She wasn't that good either. That Depp's lawyer said that he would appeal against the judgment, which he said was a perverse as it is bewildering, which it is. Mr. Justice Nicol has now dismissed Johnny Depp's appeal application, saying he did not believe that it had a reasonable prospect of success. In his ruling, the judge wrote, "The findings of fact by a first instance tribunal, particularly one such as myself, who has heard oral evidence." But he saw evidence, and he also heard evidence from Johnny's side, which contradicts everything that AH and the Sun did. But again, no, we know a couple of things that have gone on there. Are really open to challenge on appeal. In any event, I do not consider that the proposed grounds of appeal have a reasonable prospect of success. And that is also the case so far as the grounds of appeal suggest that I erred in principle or in law. Mate, you did. And there is not some other compelling reason why permission to appeal should be granted. The judge has ordered that Johnny pays £520,000 towards his defence bill by December 7th and a further £108,000, £235 by January 22nd. The remainder of the legal bill will be paid after a detailed assessment of the costs. The actor can take the case directly to the Court of Appeal, which he is going to be doing. So Johnny sued the Sun's publisher, News Group Newspapers, and its executive editor, Dan Wooten, over the article in 2018 in which ran under the headline, "How can JK be genuinely happy casting this?" And it does a couple of things, and it goes on saying about how Warner Brothers forced him to resign and so forth. Which is kind of interesting to see that the judge would actually say in his ruling that, oh, you think I did wrong? You know, which kind of puts everyone thinking, well, yeah, exactly. This is what's going on. This is how it's happened. But that's that. So what we're going to be moving on to now, guys, is this. If you remember over the weekend, Johnny Depp, he was in the first episode of Animaniacs, and obviously they took a jab at him and everything else, and they see, Johnny Depp telling lies and all this kind of stuff. And I did a video on it. People were saying it was made in 2018, you cannot edit it, you can't do this, you can't do that. Animaniacs, episode 6, removed from Hulu after phone number blunder. Animaniacs fans were left confused on November 23rd after episode 6 was temporarily removed from Hulu following a phone number blunder. After 22 years away from our screens, Animaniacs has returned. So it goes on saying about what they're doing, blah blah blah. However, in 2020s, the certain adult-oriented joke has resulted in one episode of the series being temporarily removed from the Hulu streaming service. But just why has it been removed? Animaniacs return, we got all that, 13 episodes, trio, okay. So, fans were watching their way through the Animaniacs reboot were quick to spot that episode 6 of the new season had been removed on the November 23rd, so Sunday night. The reason, as fans quickly deduced, Monday night, not Sunday night, Monday night. The reason, as fans quickly deduced, was thanks to an episode of Pinky and the Brain which featured Brain starring in a TV commercial which included a supposedly fictional phone number and an address. However, the fictional phone number turned out not to be fictional at all, as fans tried phoning the number. Instead of getting a funny Animaniacs-themed message or something along those lines, fans were actually phoning a adult line, and were greeted with a rather naughty message. As a result, Hulu took down the episode. So remember guys, this was taken down Monday night. As of the morning of November 24th, so Tuesday morning, episode 6 had been restored, but the offending phone number was edited out. So guys, that just goes to show that the ones who are saying, oh, you can't take out this, you can't do that, you can't do this, they've done it for a phone number. And do you want to know why, people? Because people complain to them. So, people are complaining to them because there's an adult phone line. Okay, yeah, it's not making fun of anyone, it's, trust you, it's actually quite funny. But again, this just goes to show that the overall quality control for the show is abysmal. They haven't got people checking through things, looking at jokes, seeing what's hit and miss, and by the looks of things, they're not actually trying to figure out if this number was real. Back in the 90s, when they did it, they used to get funny messages, or it used to direct you to somewhere else for an advert for the show. And another thing you need to look at as well with all of this is that back in the 90s, you could make a joke about something which happened 2 years ago, and it would still be relevant. This day and age, because we live in the age of social media and how fast everything moves, you can make a joke today which will be a worldwide sensation. Couple of days' time, it'll be old and stale. That's why this series hasn't really hit it on the head for a lot of people. Because a lot of people are like, you know what, it's not, they're trying to be funny, but because it's old jokes now, it's not really working. And again, just going back to, that the fans are reacting to this phone number. Some of them like, why has this been gone? And like, oh, Hulu Animaniacs episode got removed because of this. People were literally like, oh, reboot is a real phone number. For a joke, my wife called it. It's a phone sex line. Get rid. So you had things like this. But they were fine showing, something just mocking Johnny. But again, like we've talked about this over the weekend, if it, even if it was unintentional towards it, they need to have quality control this day and age. 100%. Because they need people to look through all the episodes, whatever they're producing, even if it's for, like a joke which, oh yeah, that's funny, but that joke may not be funny in the next year or so. That's what people need to look at. And it's sad to say that, because again, the world moves so fast this day and age. Social media, it blows everything up, and because social media is so vast, it gets stale very, very quickly. But yeah, so guys, Animaniacs removed an episode because it had a real phone number in, pointing to someone who is, they're trying to make fun of and everything else. But again, people who suffer from DV or who have and are real survivors, they don't find it funny. But when they complain, it's almost like you're mocking them because you haven't removed it. If you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for future updates, and I'll see each and every one of you soon.